Juicin. So in terms of synergy, I'm not really a big fan of Kingdom Esports. They can't really stagger their controls all that much. However, in the meantime, it does definitely seem as though for RSG side, they have a decent amount of stuns on their side.
Yeah.
They do have good ways to control, especially since they have to deal with a Granger.
To be honest though, Kingdom Esports has a stronger side lane pressure right from the early game.
Just because of the Hilda, yeah.
Just because of Hilda, just because of Gato Gacha, able to just clear that mid lane earlier with the Juicin as well. And Juicin also has a little bit of an adjustment wherein your mana is depleted much faster, so you don't and regenerates slower. So you can only lift someone up once on a single combo period.
That's
so
right.
it does make a lot of like changes to how the Juicin is played around, but very, very zonal control for both of these sides, especially picking up that Zask. I mean, I think the modus operandi for RSG is just hunker down for the early game, try to pop off in the late game, and it's really, really a very late game composition, especially for RSG. So jumping in, first game, MPL Singapore Season 9, RSG versus Kingdom Esports. Man, we have a lot to talk about. Both of these compositions, very, very Singaporean. First time we've seen Zask in his first game.
Honestly, I'm not very sure how exactly they want to play with the Zask, especially since Juicin being a very comical hero and or rather have a very strong roaming potential. While in the meantime, Zask in the early stages doesn't really have that kind of situation, right? That kind of ability. So I would say that Jay would more or less be locked in the middle lane, and really depends on how FMM is the role. Oh, okay. I remember that there was this point in time, right, where FMM was also playing as a roam. He says in Chinese, right? I go top, bottom needs help. I go bottom lane, top needs help. Everywhere I go, the opposite side lose. So where do I go?
He's sort of like that cornerstone of the team. Maybe not cornerstone, middle stone.
Middle stone.
But yeah, he is. There's a lot of pressure on FMM to perform, and especially since he's back to his alma mater, Kingdom Esports, where he all started from. Taking a lot of damage. That's a slam onto FMM. Jay caught in the middle, able to sustain through that barrage of damage. But first blood goes over to Luisa. Just tanking all of that up. Kalea just showing how it's done.
Yeah, I think that what Jay wanted to do is really just a little bit of harassment, but did not really quite expect just how much damage that Kingdom Esports could have dished out at the point in time, especially since, like I said, Roy in the early stages of the game as Zask, there's really not much that you can do when you don't have the you don't have the dominated descent. So this is probably the fight that we want to see.
Yeah, goes over the wall. There's a 3-on-4 though. Get it pulled back. Jay caught in the middle. It's a landslide. Bear popped to use the flicker out of the way as Closer tries to get closer to take Bear out, but able to survive for now. Next in line, I set on Turtle.
1 for 2 when it comes down to the battle spell, so at least RSG do have got a little bit of an economical trade at this point in time, with a quick little harassment from Closer.
Oh, there's a target prio onto Closer, but he's keeping everyone at bay. You got a Nightmare Spawn coming out, Dominator's Descent, taking out 2 in the process. FMM goes down as well. Next up, chopper block. Melon forced to use the Crimson Beacon to fly out of the way as Kingdom Esports loses 2.
Absolute combo coming in from Closer. Whatever that he has done, he bought a lot of space for the entirety of RSG to just hunker down on this turtle, get themselves that turtle, just so that they can come back from the small little loss that they have gotten by giving Jay away to Kingdom Esports. And of course, with the economical trade, when it comes down to the battle spells, it definitely helped them a lot, as it really ensured that FMM would not be able to pop that revitalize at a very big moment. Because if he does have that, then Bear and FMM is gonna have a lot of survivability. And speaking of survivability, this is something that I just realized. Bear picked up the flicker, not a revitalize, so they don't have the double revitalize tech.
Might not need it anymore because Bear can always go back into the bush, get that passive regeneration coming in. But in big team fights, I think
it's very important.
Yeah, getting into the back line, that's more important than regenerating your health.
He does have the mobility though, so at least when it comes down to getting over to the back lines, one of the main things that he would want to look out for is going to be CM, who does have a bit, or not a bit, he does have a lot of mobility. Quick little jumps, quick little flashes and whatnot. I would say that Moskov generally will be able to get away from Bear in normal situations, but with the flicker, if he wants to extend it very aggressively, that is one way that he should be able to burst down the Moskov, no issues, even if he does have the blink.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategy from Kingdom Esports going over to that top side, giving pressure onto CS. try to deny his farm as much as possible. You see Malik TZ already level 6, tied with CS, but no major damage as of yet for either of those laners. Now, in the meantime, down the bottom side, Turtle spawns up. You've got RSG SG already having that early rotation down to that Turtle. Doesn't see closer though. What will Kingdom Esports do?
At least for Kingdom Esports, they can definitely try to go for a challenge.
Nice little Tsunami Slam, bringing FMM closer, almost taking him out in the process. Yon will pick that one up, ditches the Turtle, goes for the kill. This target prioritization from RSG SG.
And just reverse back. The fight's gonna be continuing on. Closer puts himself right into the back.
Oh, that's the rhythm of joy. Not enough though. Louisa tries to pull Jay back. Jay taking a little bit too much damage. Malik will take that one up as Yon picks up that Turtle for himself. A roam for an objective. RSG comes up on top yet again.
Good trade. They only lost Jay in the entire encounter. They took the Turtle for themselves, and in the meantime, they also did manage to get a kill down on FMM. So at least there is no trades when it comes down to the Turtle, and it's just a roam for a roam kind of situation. So just losing out a Galakacha is already a pretty big thing for Kingdom Esports. But though, because of the fact that we do have quite a bit of macro play from the side of Kingdom Esports, even after losing 2 Turtles, they're still pretty A-okay, right? They have a total of 14,900 gold, while on the side of RSG, they're just maybe about 100, 200 gold ahead.
Yeah, not that much as of now, but still seeping into the mid game though. There's a lot of changes that RSG SG can do right now. We talked a bit about this in the draft, because Kingdom Esports has the early game advantage and RSG SG has the late game advantage. So as long as CS picks up that farm, gets his core items up, it would be havoc for Kingdom Esports later on. You know, you got the SOD landing on the bottom side, so bringing CS down on the cross-map play, but opening their turret up top.
Alright, looking at the itemizations, it does seem like we do have the Granger that is very, very healthy. He does have got his Hunter Strike, and of course, he does have his Assassination Tool up in his alley. Well, in the meantime, for Moskov, he does have got his Corrosion Scythe, so he's still definitely building up. He won't be able to join in battles and do much just yet, but even for Granger, with these 2 items, I think that is pretty good already. He should be able to get some pretty good kills down in the early stages if he's able to kind of focus on the closer.
Yeah, RSG SG has a lot of very strong rotations. They're fighting as 4, and it's always like a 4v4 and trying to leave one lane open so that CS can just slowly eat up all the farms that are left behind for him on the side lanes. But for Louisa though, since that turret on that top side is popped open, he can always go for a sort of like a lane split, lane push that's much faster because of the ultimate that Joy has, because of the damage that it brings. Now, 3rd turtle of the game, this last turtle, Lisa's already in position. FFJ actually spots him out. Tsunami Slam into the wall, getting stunned up. Nothing that he can do, nowhere he can run. This is the Avatar of the Guardian as well. FMM comes in too late though. Yon picks up that turtle. 3 turtles for RSGSG. And FMM to his name as well. Kingdom Esports falling apart.
Unfortunate position for Louisa. In fact, probably in poor judgment to be there. Since they do not have a Galakacha, that kind of opens up the northern part of the Turtles pit. Otherwise, he would be okay for him to be there. But in fact, they do have got jungle camps that is currently available for Louisa to actually bump from one place to another. He does have a lot of real estate to cover, but we're talking about Joy after all. You do have some dashes that can play around with. As long as there are some jungle camps, you can go in fast and you can steal if you really wanted to. But that was more of a risky play, but in the meantime, you are closer to the turtle. In the end of the day, that's not the right choice, and RSGSG, especially for Jay, did manage to catch him up pretty nicely.
Very good zonal control from RSGSG. Now that the mid lane T1's already pried open, you have a lot of ways they can play around this, especially when you have that Suyo able to just go into that jungles, get out just in time. So Kingdom Esports really has to watch out for wherever they step. And Louisa just seems like he can't do anything right now. If he steps a little bit too far off, here comes the SOD. Here comes Yon in with the stun as well. So difficult for Kingdom Esports to really play around in this mid-game status that you're in. But for RSGSG, things are looking hella good as long as they stay in team fights.
I mean, in terms of hero compositions, I would definitely say that Louisa will have a difficult time trying to get himself over to the back lines. We do have closer. It's just constantly just chasing down the Joy if they really wanted to.
Ooh.
Oh!
Nice little Tsunami Slam. Pop the flicker, but it might be worth it as FMM goes down by the hands of Closer. And Kingdom Esports just scrambling, tries to push down that top side, but unable to do any more. CS tries to take over that T2 down the bot side. Will ditch for now, but there's a lot of space opened up for RSG to take that first Lord.
And just so we have 9 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, the Lord is appeared. And in this case, Madara is here.
Madara is here.
Yeah, so unfortunately we don't have any Naruto reskin. Oh wait, Jay suddenly just appeared, suddenly became Sakura now. Okay.
No, he is Sakura all the way.
No, all the start
he was. But Yon didn't put in the Sasuke skin.
Unfortunate.
Okay, we're starting off with the Lord take. He got closer, trying to push everyone back. Very ironic of his name. As of now, Kingdom Esports does not want to contest this. They might give this Madara up. As FMM holding on to the AOG. As Louisa does have the Rhythm of Joy. AOG lands. Tries to pop in. Tsunami slam. And down goes Jay. Yon takes down Madara. Gets out safe. But Kingdom Esports, they're falling like flies because CS is just picking everyone off. There's 3 members down, and it's RSG SG taking the Lords for himself, marching down the mid side.
RSG SG with the electric fly swatter. It's just bringing Kingdom Esports down from all of that take. In fact, it is definitely a little bit more scrappier than expected from Kingdom Esports. It is pretty much all over the place. But to be fair, it is a RSG SG with a composition that really plays around area denials very well. You gotta have to really look down at the dominated percent. And as you can see, this is just auto control. Roy all the way to the back, and it's just making sure that no one will be able to just stay around the pit. In fact, or rather, stay around in the outskirts. We want to push people into the pit just so that if there's any form of crowd control, Madara will be able to throw them up in the sky, and that will put Kingdom Esports in a more difficult position because they have to look out for any upcoming crowd control from Jay, from CS, and now you gotta have to take a look at the knockouts from Madara as well. You gotta, that's too much for them to work with.
Madara aside though, I see what you mean, like Jay's back to normal Kalea, not the Sakura anymore. So that's interesting. Coming in, the Tsunami Slam, picking up FMM once again, nowhere he can run, nowhere he can hide. AOG a little bit too late for him to escape. As RSG pushing all 3 lanes down. That's the 3rd turret down on that T3 top. As Kingdom Esports scrambling to defend, but they can't do it without the help of FMM. But the target is the throne as RSG SG solidifies their prowess, taking over the kingdom in game number 1.
Game number 1. It is really unfortunate considering the fact that Louisa wasn't able to pop off in the early stages.